2021, the year of the ox. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a good year, or is it going to be a bad year for the Chinese people? Well, I look at it from the standpoint of a foreigner living in mainland China for the last 18 years. Last year was a train wreck, I have to admit. Not only in China, but around the world. But what I've observed over the last year in China is the resilience of the Chinese people. I saw them take something that was really bad and turn it into something that's not so bad. I saw them beat back COVID-19. I saw them turn their economy around from something that was failing to something, because of the COVID-19, everything shut down for literally months. In some parts of China, everything shut down. People were not allowed out, quarantined, like we're talking 60 or more million people. And then they look into the future. Then they look to 2021, the new year coming up. And the optimism that I see is astounding. It's amazing that these people can go from something like the 2020 to 2021. Their GDP in the last quarter in China went up 4.9%. It's expected to do 8% in 2021. It's expected that the Chinese economy is going to grow by 2.3% next year. That's amazing, even in good times for any other country around the world. Are the Chinese people optimistic? Of course they are. Why? Because they have a government that they support. Not only do they have a government that they support, but they have a government that supports them. When you look at the manufacturing coming back, when you look at the small businesses opening, and a lot of them did close, but they're all opening up again. When you see everybody back to work, back to school, looking to the future and thinking 2021 is going to be a great year. You see, the people here in China don't look at the future as being a negative thing. They look at the future as being a positive thing. And because of the way that they think, the way their government is, and the way that the world turns, I think they're right. One of the reasons I think they're right is, unlike other countries around the world, China has a government that makes 5-year plans, and they basically stick to them. The urbanization is one of the things that's happening here in China. There was a big rural population, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And this is what people around the world remember China as. 60% of all Chinese people live in urban areas now, and they're trying to move that to 75 or 80%. Sure, it's going to take another 10, 15 years for that to happen. But as that happens, the Chinese population, your regular Ming and Wei Fang on the street, their lives are getting better. They're having a higher standard of living. Jobs are better. Wages are better. The outlook on their lives, education for their children are better. And in 2021, you're going to just see that get better and better. The infrastructure that they're growing here in China last year, 5 years ago, isn't going to stop. In 2021, it's just going to pick up. It's going to get better. There's going to be more subways. There's going to be more high-speed trains. There's going to be freight trains coming from places like Turkey to China. And this is part of the Belt and Road Initiative. And I think the first one was in November coming from Turkey, and I think they had another one here not too long ago. But you see, the idea that they're making inroads with all of the countries around the world makes their economy a very resilient economy. It makes it something that helps not only the Chinese people, but people around the world, other countries. So as China grows, these other countries grow, and 2021 is going to see a lot more cooperation between these countries and China. And as that happens, you're going to see the Chinese people get richer, their lives get better, and the countries that they're dealing with, their citizens are going to get better, and their lives are going to get better, and those countries are going to get stronger. It's sort of fun to watch this. I mean, I'm sitting in China, and I've been here for about just under 18 years, and I watch these things, and I say to myself, how can a country do so good in this day and age where everybody else is doing so bad. It's not a political thing. I think it's a personal thing. I think it's because the Chinese people will work hard, will strive for a better day tomorrow, not for themselves. You see, that's the difference. They don't think about themselves. They think about their children and their children's children, which is one of those things that I find exhilarating. I find it is a good way to look at life. You have to understand that China has a population of 1.4 to 1.5 billion people. They're just doing consensus now. They were at our place here not but a month and a half ago, seeing who lived in the house and whatever, and that'll come out in time. But they've got 1.4 to 1.5 billion people, and they're sort of switching their economy to domestic consumption more than the export business type country they were before. And when they do that, they have, well, obviously they have the customers to do it with probably 1/5 of the world's population. Makes them strong. Yes, they don't have to sell their wares abroad. Their technology is growing so much. In the next year, you're going to see it grow a lot more, just for the fact that they're heavy into the tech. Building semiconductors, computer chips, is something that they're getting heavy into. Does China have some hurdles in the next year to overcome? Of course they do. Every country does around the world. They've got to keep the COVID-19 virus out of China. And when it does come into China, they've got to isolate it, just like any other country around the world. They've done a really good job of it, and I don't see in the past, and I don't see them doing a bad job in the future. I think that because they value life of their citizens over cash, I think that they'll be successful in that. I have no misgivings about that. And as somebody living in China on a resident permit for the next 3 years, I'm banking my life and my wife's life on that, and I do trust the Chinese government to actually make that happen. So 2021 will be a very safe time for the Chinese people as compared to people around the world. China's an interesting place. The people are happy here. The people are content with their lives. Most people, not all people, nothing's 100%, but I think most people in the 90% mark are happy with their life here in China. And I think in the future, in the next year, there's going to be more people happy with their life. As wages go up, as the country gets stronger and more prosperous, there's going to be more money floating around, there's going to be better jobs, there's going to be better housing, there's going to be better infrastructure, there's going to be better subways and trains and all of these things that are coming, not just now in 2021, but for the next 10 or 15 years until China hits that level that is basically the Western level of living. So when you're looking at the future of China and what's going to happen in China in 2021, all you have to do is understand what's happened in the past and how China and the people particularly, and the government, have dealt with crisis. In 2020, we saw them deal with stuff that was way outside the normal things that happen in a country or in the world, and they dealt with it properly. They're building infrastructure. Even in 2020, they were building infrastructure. Even when things were shut down, they were building infrastructure. They were making inroads with other countries around the world in the Belt and Road Initiative. In 2021, you're going to see something that you've never seen before in your life or my life. Digital currency. Seriously. And the Chinese are cutting edge on digital currency. They're actually having trials here. The last one was in up by Shanghai. Suzhou, I think, is where it was. And they gave a bunch of money away to see if people would use it to buy in certain stores that accepted it. It's through the bank. And everybody's going to say, well, that's just like WeChat and Alipay. No. WeChat and Alipay are like a wallet for your cash. This stuff is actual cash. It's actual tender. If you were to go into a store in the future and say, I want to pay with my digital currency, they can't refuse you. With WeChat and Alipay, they can refuse you because, we don't have WeChat, we don't have Alipay. But this digital currency on this government app is actual digital currency. It is like taking money out of your pocket and giving it to somebody. This is the first time. And you say, well, the implications of that. This is rolling out in 2021. This is going to come out in the Olympics. This has already been tested in China, way ahead of everybody else. Amazing stuff. There'll be more on that. I'll be making more videos about that. But, the idea that they have all of these things happening in China, from China and around the world, not just in China, because they have trading partners all around the world that make it possible for them to grow their economy and help other people grow their economy, other countries around the world. So in 2021, you're going to see more of that. You're going to see more help. You're going to see the Chinese government taking COVID vaccines and sending them around the world to help people out that can't afford it, that can't afford the American dollar or the Canadian dollar, the UK pound or whatever, to buy these things. The Chinese are going to be helping people out like that. You're going to see China taking a bigger role in the world in the near future. And 2021 is when it's going to happen. In 2021, you're going to see more education. You're going to see more money going into the poor communities of China, because although they've alleviated extreme poverty here in China, as of right now, this year, 2020, that doesn't mean people aren't still poor in certain areas of China. The government is going to make sure that these people are dealt with better, they have better health, they have better education, they have better opportunities in the future. That's just how the Chinese government rolls. And I think that's a great thing. Rather than, doling out a welfare check, they make it possible for these people to compete with better roads, better transportation by train, better education for the children, better this, all of these things that make China a very competitive country in the world today. And they look to their people to be the competitors in the world today. And they can't do it without infrastructure and education for the children. And I think that's where China shines. The Chinese people have a reason to be optimistic in the future, just for the fact that, everything is opening up. It's like the COVID never actually hit here. So 2020 was tough. Everybody knows 2020 is tough, and it's going to roll into 2021 around the world. But in China, it's like a flower opening, because the economy is growing. The people are healthy, happy, safe, and content. The world for the Chinese people is getting better. There's more money, there's more jobs, there's more manufacturing, there's just more optimism around the Chinese communities that next year, 2021, is going to be a better year. And I think that's what it takes in the hearts of the people of China to make a difference in their country. And from what I've seen in the past, guys and gals, these guys actually know how to build things. They know how to work hard. They know how to make things happen. And if they're optimistic about it, I think it'll just move faster. I think this country is going to thrive very well in the next year. I think it's going to be a prelude to what happens in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. I think this is the turning point of the Chinese economy and how China is looked at around the world, just for the fact that they haven't had a good reputation. I don't know whether it's mainstream media. I don't care whether it's the politicians in the United States or wherever saying bad things about China. I think that because the Chinese people and the Chinese government do the right thing, I think that's why people around the world are going to look at China and say, oh, I think we should listen to these people rather than those people, just for the fact that China is doing it and making it work where others aren't. I look at the Chinese people and I think sometimes to myself, like, seriously, how the hell do they do it? They're building high rises. They're building. This over here is a university. I live by a university. This is a different university. How do they feed 1.4 to 1.5 million people? How do they do it? Well, ingenuity, education, good government, understanding, hard work. You know, just learning from their mistakes and changing it, making a difference not only today but into the future. And 2021 isn't going to be any different, guys and girls. 2021 is going to be a good year for China. Their economy is going to grow. Their infrastructure is going to grow. The people are going to get richer. The children are going to get better education. There's going to be better medical. There's going to be all of these things in China in 2021. Will it be as good as it ever gets? Absolutely not. In 2022, it'll get better in 23 and 24. You wait and see. Before you know it, this country is going to be one of the best countries, if it's not already the best country, because the infrastructure here, and I've been around the world more than once, the infrastructure in China is better than I've seen in any other country. But it just keeps getting better and better and better. So although 2021 isn't the end of the road, it is a stepping stone to a better world for all the Chinese people. So basically that's my prediction about what's going to be happening in 2021. Yeah, pretty generic, pretty understanding, but it's all the truth. I don't see China tripping up anytime soon. I see China doing a really good job, as they have in the past, and 2021 is just another one of those years that China is going to make it better, not only for themselves, but for their partners around the world. And that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to resubscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. And whatever you do, don't forget to put a couple bucks in the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. Poor rural Chinese children. They just need a helping hand, and we can help them. Help me help them. Thanks for watching. Bye now.